The AstraZeneca vaccine is also being currently trialed in many other countries, and eventually we should have data on about 60,000 patients or so that will enable us really to have a much more informed decision.
She urged other developers to continue work, saying a variety of vaccines would be required to meet global needs. Speaking alongside Swaminathan, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said that $4.3 billion was needed urgently for a world vaccine sharing scheme, warning that the poorest and most vulnerable could miss out. Dozens of countries have signed up to the global vaccine plan known as COVAX, which was set up by the WHO and the Gavi Vaccine Group to provide vaccine doses for countries that could not otherwise afford them. Hundreds of Americans are getting tested for COVID-19 ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday this Thursday. In Washington, D.C., the city government made use of the baseball stadium to administer COVID-19 tests. People waiting for the testing site told Reuters they had tried to get tested at different sites around the city, but other places had already run out of testing kits for the day.
You know, I have several relatives that I love and care about deeply here in the area, and in order for me to spend Thanksgiving with them, I felt like it was important to take an abundance of caution to get tested.
One couple flew in from Hawaii to visit their family for Thanksgiving, but they are isolating themselves after taking the COVID tests to limit exposure.
Yeah, my grandmother's turning 100 in a couple weeks, and in order for me to even be within 20 feet of her, my family decided that I should have a negative test, and Holly as well, so that's why we're doing it.
Not everyone is taking the risk to see family. One woman who told Reuters she was getting tested after possible exposure at a doctor's office said she and her husband will be spending the holiday alone after cancelling their flights. A former militia leader in the Democratic Republic of Congo was sentenced to life in prison for war crimes and mass rape, a decision hailed by the United Nations as a blow against the impunity of armed groups in the country. Ntabo Ntaberi Sheka founded the Nduma Defense of Congo, NDC militia, active in Congo's restive North Kivu province, where he claimed to be fighting the Rwandan Hutu rebels of the FDLR. A warrant was issued for his arrest in January 2011 after a series of attacks in which the NDC and two other groups allegedly raped nearly 400 people in 13 villages between July and August 2010. The NDC was also accused of having recruited at least 154 children into its ranks. His soldiers were blamed for raising almost 1,000 homes and businesses and leading about 100 people off into forced labor. After evading arrest for years, Sheka turned himself into UN peacekeepers in July 2017 and was prosecuted along with 3 co-defendants. On a lighter note, over 4 decades after terrorizing beachgoers in Jaws, the blockbuster movie's 25-foot shark model has been installed at Los Angeles' long-awaited Oscars Museum. Bruce the Shark, rumored to have earned its nickname from director Steven Spielberg's razor-sharp lawyer, now lurks 30 feet above the 3rd floor of the Academy Museum, which is set to open in April. The fiberglass Predator is the only remaining version created for the classic 1975 movie, but with jaws measuring nearly 5 feet wide, was too large for the building's elevators and had to be lifted in by crane through the window. Weighing more than 1,200 pounds, it is the largest object so far in the collection of the upcoming Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, a project by the body organizing Hollywood's Oscars, first dreamt up nearly a century ago, but besieged with delays. Built as the world's premier institution dedicated to the art and science of movies, the museum will showcase some 13 million photographs, scripts, costumes and props. The museum is due to open 30th of April next year, although all indoor Los Angeles museums are currently closed due to COVID-19 restrictions. The futuristic museum contains a 1,000-seat theater inside a seemingly suspended glass, steel and concrete orb connected to sky bridges to a converted department store housing the main galleries and the shark. up in sports, PSG morale good ahead of Leipzig's face-off despite injury. Now, Paris Saint-Germain continue to be plagued by injuries, but coach Thomas Tuchel is optimistic the fit-again Kylian Mbappe can make the difference in Tuesday's vital Champions League encounter with RB Leipzig. PSG host the German club at the Parc des Princes, having lost 2 of their opening 3 matches in Group H. Beaten 2-1 in Leipzig 3 weeks ago, another defeat here could push last season's Champions League runners-up to the brink of elimination in the group stage for the first time since the Qatari takeover of the club in 2011. Mbappe missed a defeat in Germany because of a hamstring injury, but returns here looking to end a run of 7 Champions League games without a goal in 2020. Neymar is also expected to start after the world's most expensive player made his return from several weeks on the sidelines as a substitute in Friday's 3-2 defeat by Monaco in Ligue 1. Injuries and suspensions have hampered the French champions ever since the season started and will do so again at the Parc des Princes on Tuesday. Mauro Icardi, Julian Draxler, Idrissa Gana Gueye and Thilo Kehrer are all on the sidelines, along with Spanish left-back Joan Bernat, who is recovering from a knee operation. Midfield duo Marco Verratti and Ander Herrera were on Monday rated as doubtful by PSG. Centre-back Presnel Kimpembe is suspended after being sent off in Leipzig last time out. Meanwhile, Leipzig coach Julian Nagelsmann was confident of managing nerves and said the team was more than able to put up a very good game against the French side. The Leipzig coach said he expected PSG to apply pressure at the Parc des Princes, but that his team would still play to win after beating the French champions 2-1 in their first meeting in the group. In the summer semi-finals, Leipzig were beaten 3-0 by PSG, robbing them of a place in the finals. The Germans had outperformed all expectations by reaching the last 4, knocking out Tottenham Hotspur and Atletico Madrid en route. At the halfway mark, PSG are third in Group H on 3 points, 3 behind Leipzig, and leaders Manchester United, both on 6. As Dinamo Kyiv prepared to host Barcelona in the Champions League match today, coach Mircea Lucescu said he expects the group leaders to step up their defense as they rest star forward Lionel Messi. Barca lost Gerard Piqué and Sergi Roberto to serious injuries in Saturday's 1-0 defeat by Atletico Madrid in La Liga, leaving them with only 3 defenders in the first-team squad for the trip to Ukraine. In addition to Messi, midfielder Frankie de Jong will also rest and will not be making the trip to Kyiv. Despite the diminished lineup, Lucescu said Barcelona remain a force to be reckoned, saying the absence of Messi means that Barcelona will play more efficiently in their defense. Dinamo are third in the group at just 1 point, while Barca are 3 for 3 and lead Group G with 9 points and are just a win away from clinching a spot in the last 16. Premier League clubs can look forward to welcoming back spectators in highly limited numbers next month for the first time since March, following an announcement by the British government on Monday. Up to 4,000 people can return to outdoor sports stadiums in parts of England classified as at low risk from coronavirus from the 2nd December, permitting the resumption of attendance at football, rugby and race courses, among other sports. The crowd ceiling will be set at 4,000 or half the stadium capacity, whichever is lower. In the lowest risk Tier 1 parts of the country once a stricter lockdown due to the pandemic ends. In Tier 2 areas, the limit will be 2,000 outdoors or half the capacity. In the highest Tier 3 regions where COVID-19 remains acute, no spectators will be allowed. A few pilot events have been held with spectators, such as a cricket match at the Oval, while Brighton hosted Chelsea before the season's Premier League got underway. Prior to the current lockdown, most of the country, including London, was in Tier 2. But 3 of the biggest Premier League clubs, Liverpool, Manchester United and Manchester City, are located in the highest Tier 3 areas. So it remains to be seen whether they will be allowed to admit fans after the 2nd of December. The government said that where spectators are allowed, only the home fans will be permitted to prevent unnecessary travel on public transport by opposing fans. That's it from us this afternoon. In our top story, proposal to allow Johor Singapore commute under discussion. Do join us on News at 10 this evening on my Free Views Berita RTM News channel. I'm Brenda Lepol. Thanks for watching.
Kesan yang serius kepada kanak-kanak dan menjejaskan prestasi pembelajaran mereka.